You're listening to KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine.
The opinions and views expressed in this program do not reflect those of KUCI, its management, or the UC Board of Regents. To find out more about this talk show or other talk shows broadcasting on KUCI, log on to our website at kuci.org or check out the latest program guide.
This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at the Actors Co-op for their presentation of The Christians.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Townsend Coleman.
Great. Can I get either a brief bio of you, an introduction, or just anything you want to say?
Yeah, I'm a voice actor here in LA. I've been a voice actor for 40 years, and I do a lot of cartoons. The original Michelangelo on Ninja Turtles, voice of the Tick, voice of NBC for 16 years. You name it, I've pretty much done it.
Actually, I'm a big fan of yours, because I saw all those cartoons when I was a kid.
Oh, there you go. Well, good answer.
So, which character do you play?
I'm Pastor Paul. Well, Pastor Paul is a man who has had a revelation of sorts and come to believe that he does not believe in hell any longer and feels that this is a message he needs to give to his congregation, and in the process just unilaterally decides to deliver this message and doesn't tell anybody, and it creates hilarity and hijinks. No hilarity and no hijinks. It is it's a tough message for the congregation to hear, and for his wife to hear, and the elders to hear, and pretty much everybody to hear. And then the rest of the play is the fallout from that message.
Okay, well, I guess that's what my viewers can expect if they come by and see this piece. I'm going to play prophet here. I'm a prophet here. I'm thinking of some of my fellow critics, some of my viewers. They're just going to hate this piece. What do you think? You think I'm right?
Well, you tell me why. Because I don't know about that. This is definitely, it's called The Christians for sure. But I don't think that you need to be a Christian to appreciate it. I think you can be pretty much any denomination, any religion. You can be atheist to come and appreciate the questions that Lucas Nath, the playwright, poses in this. He doesn't give any answers, doesn't, come to any conclusions. He leaves that up to the audience.
I agree. First of all, I do feel that, again, he's wrestling with his faith. So he's very genuine about this.
Yeah.
He has no incentive for him to be right. In fact, he has a lot of incentive for him to be wrong. So it's kind of like he's not really knuckling under pressure. I do kind of feel he's a bit successful, and he's a bit, like my way is the highway. I do feel it. So he's not a perfect character. He's a bit flawed. But I think he is very sincere about what he's doing.
Oh, he's super sincere. Oh, he completely believes in what he's not trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes. He wouldn't have gone out on a limb and delivered this message if he didn't fully believe it, 110%.
And also some of my viewers, the ones who would dislike this, they're not disliking this because of its content, because of its, they are because of content. I would say not because they're being open-minded. I think some of my viewers are, I'm sorry to say, somewhat narrow-minded. They're somewhat opinionated. They have an opinion of the worldview that they feel comfortable with, and they'd rather it not be questioned. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm just saying for them, they might not be. They're not gonna. How should I put this? They're gonna hate this thing. They're not gonna fall asleep. They're not gonna be like, oh, this is boring. I wasted my money. No, they're gonna say, you're wrong. You are wrong. You are wrong. You know what I mean? That's what they're gonna say.
But that's okay. That's what this piece is supposed to do. It's supposed to challenge you. It is provocative. It is supposed to make you think and ask questions. That's the whole point of it. We welcome that. Just because we're a Christian theater company doesn't mean we're trying to club somebody over the head with a Christian-only message. This is anything but that.
Yeah, if anything, I agree it's not a Christian message. If anything, he is taking the point of there is no hell. And again, if there's no hell, why even go to church if there's no hell? So, in a sense, he's taking the other side. He's like this Christian who's saying, maybe what I'm thinking about isn't the truth. Maybe. So again, he's kind of on their side, but still, for some reasons, I think some of my viewers just wouldn't like this. You know what I mean?
Well, there's no question about that. But the nice thing about the way Lucas Nath writes is he provides a number of different viewpoints that pretty much anybody, no matter your point of view, is going to find one point of view in this script, in this production, to be able to get behind, I think. But the great thing about it, it's so well balanced that you can find yourself agreeing with him, and then with her, and then with him again, and then with the wife, and then with the elder. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can find yourself seesawing back and forth, going, well, I'm not sure. Well, he makes a good point. Well, she makes a good point too. It's like, wow, boy, now I really, you can get your head spinning. But it's a thinker for sure.
Well, again, I do recommend people come just because, again, first of all, it's a deep message. I mean, it's serious about what would you do if you suddenly question everything you grew up with. Again, important. It's like, is your job worth throwing away? Also, again, this is what really happened. So it's like, it's like church hierarchy, a big successful church, and this is what things happen. So, again, I think it's very worth seeing. I think it was very well done, and I did enjoy myself tonight.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for coming out.
All right, thank you very much for being on the show. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Kay Bess. I'm a member of the Actors Co-op. I'm playing the role of the pastor's wife, Elizabeth, in our production of The Christians. I am a voice actor by trade. I'm super happy to be doing the role opposite Townsend Coleman, who we are longtime colleagues in voiceover. And it's starting off to be quite an interesting experience.
Great. And which character you play tonight?
I played Elizabeth, the pastor's wife. She is a far more complex and interesting character than you might be led to believe in the first half of the play. I love her character. I love her strength. I love her opinion. And it is currently just a great role to embrace. I'm loving it.
Great. If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
They should expect to see a pretty lively. I would say this. They should expect to experience a pretty lively debate about faith, and have some of their long-held beliefs questioned. And I think it will just be a great opportunity for them to think and be challenged about what they believe.
Recently, I saw a piece that was very well done. It was actually a debate between creationism and Darwinism. Scientific intelligence. Scientific design, intelligent design, and Darwinism. And I saw one theater critic saying, "This just wasn't for me. I'm not interested in watching two old men talk." I read between the lines, and she just did not like to hear about God.
Right.
In a positive light.
Right.
Some people are like that.
Yeah.
Again, this just might be my imagination. But what are your thoughts on it? Well, suppose if that person came in and she said something like this, "I'm just not interested in this play. I found it uninterested." And I read between the lines and said, she's doing this just because of, I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, I think there will be. I think there will be people for whom this play is not for them. I think that's entirely possible, and God bless them. I mean, not everything is for everyone. So I think if you're interested in any way about God, about good and evil, then I think it's at least interesting to come and listen and hear opposing viewpoints from unexpected characters. So, yeah.
I feel it's also a wrestle between one guy and what he believes in. And it's kind of like what would be if, say, everyone was a Republican and someone says, "Well, I don't know, my family's all Republicans, but I actually don't think this and this is right. I'm leaning more towards a Democrat." Mm-hmm. Or say your entire family were Democrats, and you're saying, "Well, I don't know about that. I think maybe this and this is wrong and all that." Mm-hmm. And maybe it's just one important fact, but the rest of them you still believe in and all that. Right. That's kind of like the situation this guy was in.
Yes,
it was just kind of like questioning what you believe in, which is, I think, very healthy.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's always good to keep questioning. Absolutely. Yeah.
Otherwise, again, you might not really know what you believe in. It might be like this play. This play did it very well. It was saying like, well, your father believed this. His father believed that. How did you know you really believe this? And again, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like Your father was a Republican. His father was a Republican. How do you
Right.
know you believe that?
Right.
That's what you're supposed to do. So again, that's very important to actually think about things like that.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's always good to question. Always.
Okay.
So,
Well, I highly recommend this piece because again, it does that. Also, you're not going to see a piece like this. I don't think I've ever seen a piece like this before. You know what I mean? At least I've seen some on television, but never in the theater.
It's the first production of the Christians in Los Angeles since it was done at the Mark Taper Forum in, I think, 2015. So come see it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I really enjoyed the acting. I loved the performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Phil Crowley. I like to be part of this play, especially because of the conversation that it provokes after the play, when people want to talk about the issues that are raised in this play, and that's particularly attractive to me. It's why I wanted to be part of it. I wanted to be part of that conversation. The questions, especially that it raises, are: what do you believe? Why do you believe it? And what are the logical outworkings of that belief? And the fact that the play makes people think about this and be willing and to talk about it is, I think, exciting, because these are subjects that people generally consider to be private. This is what I believe is private, what you believe is private, you believe what you want to believe, I believe what I want to believe. But this play raises the question of absolute truth. What is true? And if something is absolutely true, then it's going to be absolutely true whether a person believes it or not. That's the nature of truth, isn't it? So that's one of the reasons I like being in this play.
Great. And which character do you play?
I play Elder Jay, who has a short little confrontation with the pastor after his sermon, about maybe 2 or 3 days after the first sermon that he gives, and brings up subjects of money in the church and that kind of a thing, and how the change in doctrine is going to affect the church in different ways, and we see it start to happen, in the next scene, which is when Sister Jenny starts asking those penetrating questions.
So, what's your take on your character?
On my character, I would say that he is probably not as doctrinally grounded as he might be for his age. He doesn't seem as concerned with questions of doctrine as much as he is questions of, are people going to continue to going to church, and why did you let this younger pastor go, and because he was so exciting, and we were so I'm glad that the rest of the characters get to ask the more questions, and I just sort of sit there and watch and absorb and listen, and I think, good point. So that's my take.
This actually brought something up that happened to me a couple of weeks ago. A friend of mine, a coworker of mine,
yes,
his mother died. He's like 60, and his mother died. And another coworker of mine, he's actually Filipino, and I think he's Catholic or something like that. He went up to him and said, "What do you think your mother went when she died?" And he's Jewish, right? And he said,
Wait a minute. Who was... Your
my
friend is Jewish?
No, my friend is Jewish.
Yeah, and the Jewish friend's mother died?
His Jewish friend's mother died, and his Catholic
friends asked him a question.
What do you think your mother went when he died? And again, well, first of all, you don't ask questions like that at work. But basically, he said, I don't want to think about this. And he just kind of just brushed him off.
He pressed him?
No, he just ended right there.
Okay.
So again, it's kind of interesting. I was thinking about that because, it talked a little bit about that today. Yeah. And I'm thinking, what if some of my viewers just don't want to come here just because they're like my Jewish friend who I just don't want to think about this and just leaves. What are your thoughts on that?
About people who just don't want to think about it?
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they will overcome that and come to see the play anyway. They don't have to talk about it, but they will be confronted with the idea and the questions that they will eventually have to ask themselves. Everybody, and I mean everybody, places a bet. Okay? Nobody knows from experience what happens after you die. There's a thing called Pascal's wager when we're talking about betting, that I would refer you to Pascal's wager, and also to many of the debates that you can find online on YouTube. There's debates between atheists and Christians. One of the most famous recent ones is between Richard Dawkins, who is an atheist, and John Lennox, who is also a doctor of mathematics and theology from Oxford. And the two of them have a very, very interesting debate. But there's many, many, many debates on YouTube that you can look at and see and hear both sides of the questions that people are asking in private. People ask these questions of themselves in private, but they don't want to talk about them, perhaps because they're not sure about what they believe, or they're not sure that they want to make a decision. Because if you make a decision on one side or the other, your decision will have consequences. So what are those consequences? And people don't want to think about it. Like they don't want to think about death, period. But eventually, where do you want to be buried? Well, can we talk about that later? So, but I would encourage people to come to the play, because it's just because I think it makes it more possible for people to talk about these things. I think people want to talk about them after seeing this play. They're going to say, okay, now I want to talk about it. Now I want to have a conversation.
Okay. Well, I agree with you. A lot of people are in denial. They just think they're just never going to die. So again, but I do. That's why one of the reasons why I think this play is very important. And I really did enjoy myself tonight, and I enjoyed your acting too.
Thank you for coming.
All right. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Right. Absolutely. Thank you too.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Nicole Gabriella Scipione. Nice to meet you, Ashton. Thank you for coming. I love working on a piece that is such an exploration of why are we here. The subject matter of it is an honor to work on, and is very powerful to me personally. If there's something after this plane, and what might it be like, and then when people when there's a community of any kind, we're just imperfect creatures, and then that's one of the fascinating things about it to me is when people get in close intimacy with each other, people start making mistakes and the expectations, and we disappoint each other. No matter how high the aim is, we as humans then disappoint each other, but it's still, to me, so admirable to try to seek whatever the highest way might be, but then of course people don't agree what the highest way might be. So that's a fascinating endeavor to, unpack.
Great. And which character you play tonight?
Jenny, the congregant. I think I'm a weirdo. I speak in the first persons. I'm someone who hasn't trusted myself in life for a variety of different reasons. And that when this happens in the church, that I decide I have to trust myself, and I have to ask this person that I respect and love that I'm doing something very brave that I don't really want to do, but I feel I must do to have my own integrity and respect myself. So I can relate to that.
If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
It's as if you're sitting in a megachurch on its 20th anniversary. So you're seeing the pastor of a megachurch celebrating a big milestone, and then he switches the ideology kind of unexpectedly of the whole church, and so then you're seeing the people respond to being told their whole world kind of, the axis of the world, there's an earthquake, or he's like, hey, we're starting an earthquake, and then you see the shaking.
Well, I actually enjoyed the piece, because basically it's first of all, a lot of this happens in, I guess, the church out there. There are a lot of church splits out there. Some people split over the most silliest of things, the most silliest of things. And they just decide to split because of that. So again, and people are really sometimes very, very adamant about that. And it's very judgmental. And again, but this shows the victims in there. who basically, the people are been there their whole lives. They have to make a decision. They're not used to challenging the leadership, and they're challenging them and they're making a decision, which I think is very healthy. So again, you see a lot of that in here, and people just might not see this in their lives. So I think that's very important.
I concur with what you're saying. Yes, people are put in a position where in this story where they then have to decide for themselves what they believe and where they want to put their trust, spirit, resources. That's a both exciting and a scary decision in my experience in life and in this story,
Well, basically, again, I feel it's worth seeing. And again, you're not going to, if you see this thing, you're not going to fall asleep. You're not going to think, oh, well, I just wasted my time. No, you're either going to love this piece or you're going to hate this piece. You're going to get some kind of feeling out of this. And again, it may open your mind, or it may close your mind too. And again, that's not bad. If PCC just closes your mind, at least you'll learn something about yourself. You know what I mean? So I thought it was definitely worth seeing.
I'm glad you had that experience, and that is I saw the play when it was done at the Taper. I saw it 4 times. I just could not rip myself away from it. I was just riveted. So I think, yes, I agree with Ashton that you will, whatever you'll have passionate feelings about it one way or the other.
Okay, well, I love your performance too. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you, Ashton.
The Christians will be playing at the Actors Co-op from May 10th to June 16th. For more information, go to www.actorscoop.org. This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at the David Henry Hwang Theater for the East-West Players presentation of Mamma Mia.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
I'm Joan Almadelia.
Which character do you play tonight?
I play Donna Sheridan. Donna is a fierce, headstrong, single mother who is trying to put her life together and to put this restaurant together, and also at the same time learning how to let go of her daughter and the eve of her wedding.
I love the performance tonight. It was wonderful. Toe tapping. Basically, it was Mamma Mia. You know what I mean?
Yes. It's a really very fun show to do, and I hope that the audience did also had so much fun.
If my viewers decide to come out and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
Oh my God, a lot of fun, dance, music, heart, a lot of heart, and also a lot of crazy, talented Asians on stage telling a story that everybody in the whole entire world can relate.
I think it was just more than an Asian play. It was just a lot of good actors, a very good play. Plus, there were actually a few gems in there who I think are just transcend race, transcend. They were just fantastic actors.
And I agree. And there's a lot of people that are featured. People have their own moments, and you like that balance to feature everybody. Have their moments. And I love watching a show like that. And I recently just watched something like that in New York, and it's like every single person, their story, what's going on in their minds, and they just turn the house down. Yeah.
Well, I loved your performance. I thought your singing was fantastic. It was moving. It was balanced, too. It wasn't like one person was dominating, but there were some gems in who are definitely going to become big stars out there, too.
Yes, I cannot wait. I can't wait. Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah, I loved the performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you, Ashton.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
Grace Yu.
Great. Could I get either a brief bio of you, an introduction, or just anything you want to say?
Brief bio of me. I am a storyteller based in Los Angeles. I don't know. I sing, I dance, I play pretend for a living.
Great. And which character did you play tonight?
I played the role of Sophie Sheridan.
What's your take on Sophie?
My take on Sophie is she is a girl who is just so excited about life, and she's always positive. She may not be thinking 10 steps ahead time to time, but she's very hopeful, and I think she's just joyful, and that was my take on this role.
Actually, I thought you were the center of the story, because again, there's a debate whether it's as you or your mother who's actually kind of the centerpiece. It's kind of a generation type thing of the older generation handing off to the younger generation, and I see that a lot of the story evolved into you.
Yeah, I mean, the whole premise of the story is, circling around, like, I do begin and I do end, have the privilege of ending the show, but I think it really is about this mother and daughter relationship and, their journey of their relationship, and for Sophie to truly find her identity. And I think there's something to be said that, as a Asian American woman myself, being able to portray Sophie and this identity crises we all have, it was like a more meaningful way, I think, to approach the complexities of that.
I love your performance tonight. You were fantastic, and
thank you very much.
It's more than just the performance. The little things you did, whether it's a toss of your hair, whether it's a shake of your head at the right point in the music, it shows. I remember someone once said Michael Jackson. Do you know he rehearsed for half an hour? He would warm up for half an hour just to perform like 5 minutes, and everyone wondered, why is he doing that? He's done this a million times before. It's those little things that come out in a performance. I can see all your preparation in your work. You were just so well prepared.
Thank you so much. I mean, we had a great team behind us. Snehal, our director, and Mark, our music director, and Preston, our choreographer. Like, everything is about precision, but also it's about, making it come from our authentic selves. And so I had a lot of fun just diving into her role. And and it's a comedy too, it's not just like this drama, but comedy is all about precision too, so we had a long, lengthy rehearsal process to explore that.
If my viewers decide to come and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
They should expect to see a Mamma Mia they have never seen before, and they should just, hold on to your seatbelts, because it's like a wild, crazy ride. It's a long show, but I feel like our take on it makes it move so quickly, just because everything is new. You don't see people who look like us get to play these roles and tell this story, and we all suspend our disbelief in the audience, in the house anyway. So why not? Why can't Donna and Sophie be Asian? Why can't any of those things? So I think we're really breathing new life, so it will be really, really fresh for the audience to see and experience.
Well, it's more than just an Asian flavor to it. It's actually your take on it, because I say this about certain people who play the role. They just capture the role so well. They should come here just to see you play your role. I've seen Mamma Mia before, and you just nailed it so well, because you put a lot of yourself into it. Seriously, you were outstanding.
That means so much. Thank you so much. I try to play true to who I am, and a lot of the things that Sophie goes through in the show is something I struggle with also at this age and time in my life, and really just about, she's also someone who's just trying to know who I am. It's coming from my heart. All of it.
Well, once again, you did wonderful performance, masterful performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. I love being interviewed by you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Alan Ariano. It's great working for East West Players because it shows a community of Asian Americans, and not only that, POCs, persons of colors, in it. We include everybody, and I think what's a great message for audiences is that they can be represented on stage no matter what.
Great. And which character you play tonight?
I play Sam Carmichael. Sam is I see, on page, he's a hard guy. He's kind of carefree attitude, therefore people sees him as just loose and so forth, but he's deeply, I think there's a lot of depth in him. His heart was broken, by Donna, and you slowly see that throughout the show, so it's great to go through the journey.
Yeah, well, I really love the performance tonight, but if my viewers decide to come out and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
Well, they should expect to see a great musical called Mamma Mia, and why it's so great is it's not your traditional in a sense. It's usually a white family in Greece, and in this one, it's a Filipino-American family, and like I said, they're able to see that they can be represented on stage no matter what culture or where they're from.
Well, I love the performance tonight, and I don't think it was just an Asian piece. I mean,
exactly.
It was just a good piece of Mamma Mia.
Right.
I saw a couple of really rising stars in there who are fantastic, like the lead daughter. She was outstanding.
Yes, Grace Hughes. She's fantastic, and she's going to go places. You are right. You're right. She's going to go places.
Yeah, and this theater, in a sense, is kind of like the rising star for young Asians, people of color, in which you've seen some very famous people come out of this theater.
Absolutely, yeah.
Mamma Mia will be playing at the David Henry Hwang Theater from May 9th to June 16th. For more information, go to www.eastwestplayers.org.